It's real hot here. Send help.
Or pull.
Or pull.
I guess if you're looking for something positive about doing laundry by hand, it's that by the time you're done with your last load, the first load's already dry and ready to be taken down and folded and put away. That's the bright side, right?
This right here is what you call a candy paint. Southern Arizona, fell in love, it's that. Angel brown, yeah, cute face, solid graduate. She's the type to make you hesitate. Solid at a party, how you doing? What's your name? Yeah. Said she got chosen, that's like fire to the flame. Yeah. Ask her what she into, she said anime games. Wow, put a ring out now, baby check me out. She's a wallflower, but a chick. Look right through your glasses, a new friend. No, you're not alone, yeah, you know I'm right here. Yeah, baby girl, I'm right here. She's a wallflower, but a chick. Look right through your glasses, a new friend. No, you're not alone, yeah, you know I'm right here. Yeah, baby girl, I'm right here.
Guys, another reason that we have to get this building set up, the moth apocalypse. Let me show you what's going on in here. It's disgusting. Well, we've avoided the heat as long as we possibly can. It's 5 o'clock and it's still 100 degrees. So we just have to get to work. So what we did the other day was we put linseed oil, plain linseed oil on one piece of wood, and we wanted to see what that would do. And then we added mineral spirits and linseed oil to one other piece of wood. Once we cob, we wanted to see if there was any difference on if the cob was going to soak into the wood or not. So we have 2 coats of the mixtures on each piece of wood. We're gonna make up a little batch of cob and see what it does to those pieces.
Push me out to sea, baby. It's the best thing for us both. I'll be happy out there, baby. Fish below and stars above. And you'll be happier without me. Push me out to sea, baby. There's nothing left for you to do. We did our best with our love, baby, but it brought us down so low. And you'll be happier.
Alright, so now that we got our cob mix, we're going to go over and put it on both of the panels and just see what happens. See if it soaks into the wood or if it doesn't.
Put me to your ear and I'll whisper what today I just can't say. Then you throw me back into the water and forget you ever found me, and forget you ever lost me.
So far it doesn't appear to be soaking into the wood, but we are going to leave it a few minutes and then come back and see if it's changed at all. And then of course we're also going to look at it tomorrow morning and go from there.
Stars above, and you'll be happier without me.
So it's been 2 hours since we first applied this cob, and look, it is not leaking through, like soaking into the wood or anything. But also, check this out.
Watch it fall off.
No, it's stuck on there. So I think that means it's time to start sealing up the ceiling.
Wash me in the water.
Guys, do you remember when I showed you earlier the moth situation, but you couldn't quite see it on camera? Look at this now. Come on in. Oh my god. We have to get this stuff. What was they like?
What is up? How are you doing? It's real hot here. Send help.
Or a pool.
Or pull.
Send a pool.
So, in case you hadn't noticed or you didn't know, there's a heat wave sweeping through Arizona. And we are bearing the brunt of it here in the high desert, apparently.
Yes.
We are 5,000 feet elevation, and it's been over 100 degrees every day, all week long.
I'm kind of tired of it.
It's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Our live last Sunday, we talked about it a little bit, and we actually had a lot of really good suggestions and comments and chats and everything while we were talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
And so we put some of those to good use this week, and we tried a few things, and we figured some stuff out.
What did we figure out?
Well, okay, the first thing we got to
Swamp
say,
cooler?
well,
Oh.
the first thing we got to talk about is the Airstream. And no, we can't cover it with anything because we have solar panels on top.
Yeah, so many people suggested that we just cover the Airstream.
I'd love to.
We would love to. And we will eventually.
Yeah.
When we have power.
Obviously, we've thought about that, but that's how we get our power out here right now. Like, sometimes I think people just don't realize, like, there are no power lines run out here.
Yeah, so
There's nothing.
yes, guys, our solar is on top of our Airstream that we traveled with, and that is all the power that we have out
Well,
here.
we do have some panels on the ground, but like,
Oh, yeah.
and we don't, some people are like, well, why don't you just take the panels off? Well, they're like permanently mounted.
Complicated.
I don't want to rip the panels off. The wires are all run through the
And
refrigerator
what if we need to leave at some point?
Yeah.
We need our power.
So the panels are staying on, but that does mean that we have to deal with a little extra heat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A lot extra heat.
A lot.
Anyway, so we appreciate that suggestion, but that's not an option for us right now.
No.
So let's talk swamp cooler.
Yes. Turns out we were doing our swamp cooler wrong.
Yeah. So there's just one person that said something about, because the way a swamp cooler works is it sucks air in through the back and it pumps water up over a cardboard filter, and then the air that comes out the other side is cooler. And so we always did that. We always had the back window open and it was blowing that cold air. But we were actually keeping all of our other windows open because the wind, we have a decent amount of wind, and most of the time the wind feels good. And so I think we just thought that it would like kind of blow through and then out those other windows. But turns out what you actually need to do is close all your windows and turn on a vent up front, and that will sort of funnel all that air through much, much better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Like night and day difference.
Yeah. So I don't remember who you were, but thank you for that comment.
Yeah.
And so that's actually made it pretty bearable. Like we're able to keep it cool
Until about 1 o'clock.
I'd say about 60% of the time we can just run the swamp cooler.
Yeah. But then once it gets about 1 or 2 o'clock and it gets too hot, what we've been doing is starting our generator, running our air conditioner, and blowing the cold air from the air conditioner with the swamp cooler just as a fan.
Right.
So it's just blowing as a fan.
Turn off the cooling feature because otherwise you just make it humid inside because you're blowing like that wet
Which
air.
we did that once.
Yeah, we did. And I remember walking in and I was like why does it feel like this in here? But I think one of the kids had turned it on.
Yeah.
So we are, and so, actually I've been experimenting with just leaving the swamp cooler off. Because if the air is too hot inside, you're just kind of blowing hot air around and it doesn't feel right. Anyway, the air conditioner needs to run for like a solid, let's say, 8 hours. We run it until it's dark, and then we turn it off, and we switch back to the swamp cooler. And it turns out we have been running the generator all night because we're heating chicks at night. And we're running that swamp cooler all night. And I think if we were just doing the swamp cooler, we probably could last on our batteries all night.
Yeah.
But it only takes about half a tank of gas in the generator to keep the swamp cooler running all night. Because it hardly uses anything on the swamp cooler. It uses about 20 amps on our 12-volt system. So anyway, we just let it run all night. And then in the morning, once the sun comes up, we'll turn off the generator and just let the swamp cooler run off solar for a couple hours. And then we have to go back to the air conditioner. So
that was a very long explanation.
Well, it's tricky because like we don't want to, like, gas is so expensive right now, and we don't want to spend all the monies on gas, but we also don't want to die.
Yeah.
So we're really trying to find that, like, the balance of staying cool. I will say, I think the time between like probably 1 and about 6 o'clock is pretty miserable. Inside, outside.
That's like putting it lightly.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, around like 7, if you're in the shade, or even I'd say 5 or 6, if you're in the shade and you catch the wind, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But inside, it's just like, it's trying real hard to stay cool, and it's just not
really working.
It's not doing it. Also, the saga of our generator, which many of you heard me rant endlessly about on the live video. I think we got our first date jitters out of the way, and we got to know each other a little better, and so
Went to second, third.
Yeah, to third base and
back again.
and back again. It's been running all week. You know, had a few times getting it started that were a little frustrating, but for the most part, it's coming up on its first oil change, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, like I think we just had a few weird issues at the beginning there that we've worked out, and so it's been keeping us cool.
Yeah.
It's not too loud.
Yeah.
No complaints right now, I think, after that first little rant.
Yeah, it's definitely working a little better.
Yeah. So we are trying to stay cool. Obviously, we are slowing down all of our work out here, so we don't have a ton of like progress on the solar shed because it's just been hot.
Yeah. But plus, we've been doing experiments that take multiple days to...
Right, yeah. We had to make sure that ceiling was going to work before we just started doing it.
Yeah, but now that we know it's going to work, I'll be out here early in the morning sealing it up.
And even if my pocket's empty, I don't really want to go to work. No, no, no. It is so sweet under the sun. I'm gonna take my time, 'cause I don't really want to go to work. Got up this morning.
Good morning. Today we are up early, 6:30, and we are getting started in the solar shed. Today I've got to go vacuum out all those moths and feed them to our chickens. And then we're going to seal it up.
And suddenly my phone is ringing. I can hear my boss shouting at me. You know what? He wants me to hurry, but I will not control my feet. And even if my pocket's empty, I don't really want to go to work. It is so sweet under the sun. I'm gonna take my time, 'cause I don't really want to go to work. Now that I'm hearing all these wonderful songs in my head,
Is anybody else thoroughly disgusted? Because that was disgusting. So gross. We're gonna go give them to the chickens and see if they like them.
My boss is really mad at me. Yeah. He wants me to hurry, but I cannot control my feet. Sun. And even if my pocket's empty, I don't really want to go to work. No, no. It is so sweet under the sun. I'm gonna take my time.
Well, that was the best. The chicks had no interest. So, back to work.
Between the lines, if you're somebody else, it's all lies and lies again. If you're somebody else, I wanna let you know. Try to lead a life that was meant to be for someone else.
Alright, so I got the office ceiling done. Do you know what time it is? 8. So it only took an hour to complete that. So I'm planning on another hour for the circle part of the building, the guest room. So I'm just trying to get done as quickly as possible because it's extremely hot and humid in here for some reason. Hopefully that's not the case all the time, but let's keep going.
Understand the signs. If you're you're somebody else, lies and lies again. If you're somebody else, I've gotta let you know.
So a couple things that have made this a lot easier is getting a good brush that doesn't fall apart after 2 panels. And the oil is just running down my arms as I'm doing this, so putting a bandana at the end of your gloves is super helpful. I don't have one here though. And it is incredibly hot. I have no idea what temperature it is, but it's pretty miserable in here.
You gotta get it back together. Ooh, yeah. If you're somebody else, if you're somebody else.
All right, it's 8:40. That means it took an hour and 40 minutes to complete the entire ceiling in here. I'm covered in oil and sweat. And it's time to get a shower, clean up, and edit this video for you. It is Friday, 8:30 in the morning.
Wash me in the water, cleanse me in the mercy of your love. I need a heavenly touch, 'cause I'll be backsliding. I need a little guiding for my soul. Only heaven knows, 'cause I just need a helping hand. It's gonna help me stand. It's gonna help